Boards, games, boards, games, boards, games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing, and I'm out in a garden today. And later on, we'll find some games we will play, and I will tell you I took a train. It took too long. I hope that doesn't happen again. Board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, and I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning. It's 10 a.m. UK time, but thank you for joining me, whether it's 6 a.m. or 12 noon or whatever it is, wherever you are. Hello, Timmy. It is lovely to see you, and I hope that you're generally well. And, oops, yep, as I said, 10 a.m. UK time, time for Busy Beats and Board Game Blether. And today I am in a new place with wonderful people and enjoying the day. And I thought I'd show you a little bit about the garden. The main thing that I wanted to talk about today is planning versus surprises. Is one better than the other? Is it good to know everything that's going to happen ahead of time? I mean, when you're playing a game, you want it to be comforting. You want to have an expectation of what you're getting into. But at the same time, you want to have some surprises along the way. You want to understand, okay, these are the controls. This is the basic gist of what I'm going to do. Is it a speed game? Is it a slow, thoughtful game? Is it a game all about the story? Is it a game all about the pondering, the puzzles and stuff? You want to have an idea of these things, but along the way, you want moments of delight, moments where you're like, oh, wow. That... And so basically, you need a balance, I guess, is what I'm saying. And yeah, I'll show you a little bit of this. I don't know what these blue things are, but they're very pretty. And I'll sit here and enjoy some time in the garden with you. But yeah, surprises versus expectation. That is what I'm talking about. And to cut the long story short, yeah, just find a balance. And you really need to have both the comforts and the things. And the balance for everyone is going to be different. And think about what your audience wants. Think about what you want as a person. And then that will help you live a better life. And thinking about your audience will help you make better things for your audience. Let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights, well, I mean, a highlight is that it's a beautiful blue sky. We don't often see blue skies in the UK, so that is a lovely thing. And I managed to get to, where I am. I was hoping to catch a train, and then the trains got cancelled, and then I got another train, and then that was delayed, and then that was cancelled after like 40 minutes of sitting in it, and then I was so, oh, well, you can go the other way, and then I got onto the other train, and then that was delayed for a while, and yeah, then I had to go to this. Anyway, I ended up arriving like from the moment that I went into the train station. I should have been like somewhere at, let's say, 7, but instead it was like 2.5 hours after that. But at least I got here, and now I'm with wonderful friends, Alan and Charlie Paul, planning to discuss games, to play games, to have a good time together. And that's what it's all about. Let's talk about brilliant things, brilliant things. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Brilliant things. I'm going to say that fruit. Growing your own fruit, that is a brilliant thing. I mean, there's something lovely about fruit growing. I mean, you've talking about comforts and surprises. You know that, hey, you're going to get these kinds of berries, or hey, you're going to get some plums, which are lovely. But maybe it's like, okay, how are these things going to turn out? Is it going to be nice and juicy this year? Is it going to be a little bit hard? Like, I mean, these ones don't feel like anything that I would like to eat, to be honest, just yet, because it has been very dry recently. But having that sense of comfort and surprise, but then also the satisfaction that you did all this, that you made these trees grow. That is a brilliant thing. How about you? What are you up to? Timmy's had another donut with milk. Very tasty. I'm glad that you're enjoying these things. Like, it's important to enjoy these smaller things in life. So yeah, back to the main topic, which is, of course, about surprise and expectations. I mean, I would like to ask you, do you think that on the scale of surprise versus knowledge, how do you fall? Like, I prefer more knowledge and maybe less surprise than a lot of people, than the average person in the world would. I like to have some expectation of what I'm going into. I like it to be a safe space. I like to know, okay, that's going to happen. There's going to be a plan. And I'm not saying that we can't deviate from the plan, but I want there to be a plan to start off. And I want there to be, okay, any deviations from the plan are going to have a reason, and they're going to be because of the way that things are going. And so, yeah, I do like to have a plan. And similarly, when I play the game, there's some people who are just like, yeah, I'll work it out as we go along. I'm one of those people who, not only do I want to know the rules, but if I'm really going to try and enjoy the game, I almost, let's see if I can swap my hand that I'm holding this phone in. Yep, that's not comfortable at all. um, Not only do I want to know the rules, but I also want to know what is the card distribution. If I'm looking at numbers, am I more likely to get threes or sevens? What's the expectation value? And there is something interesting. I remember on a podcast, they said that they had this one experience where they were playing a game and then they got this one character, and it was like, we have no idea whether this character is the best character, the worst character, the average character. And that is an interesting moment that we'll never be able to replicate. But if I am playing a game, I like to be able to strategize. I like to be able to have my own agency. I like to be able to make decisions. I like to be able to think, this is good because X, this is bad because of X. And I like to have that knowledge. Now, you need bits of surprise in there. So how can you put that in? I guess emergent complexity, like synergies, maybe two pieces that go together in a surprising way. Hopefully in a way that's not super obvious just once you're reading through, but something that's going to halfway through the game. Oh, wait a minute. I'm taking I'm taking tokens away from this, and this other thing is rewarding me for having tokens on stuff. But if I'm putting these tokens onto any other card, and I can put it onto this one, even though those tokens are useless, I can. And maybe you realize that when you're reading through, but hopefully there will be a couple, at least one or two, that you only understand when you're playing the game. Because frankly, a game that you can imagine everything of during the reading of the rules is not that great a game. I mean, if you ask me what's a good game, like, I would say a mixture of yeah, well, what is a game? It's like the rules that you accept. It's the freedom to like stop playing because otherwise it becomes work. And it's about the agency, the power of agency, like the power of I can do something and then I get to change something. And also about the power of the surprise, like saying, oh wow, something happened differently because of my opponent, or because of a random card draw, or because of dice, or because of my own imagination sparked something that I wouldn't have thought of without actually going through it, and these cards sparking my imagination. And so, yeah, you definitely need that balance. And that's pretty much all I want to say. It's not an easy thing to determine how to get that balance, but yeah, where do you think that your games maybe need a bit more surprise? Maybe they need a bit more understanding, and I guess that's understanding it's to do with accessibility and knowing how things are. Like sometimes having having, if you've got numbers in your game, having the same amount of every number makes it a bit more accessible, and instantly you can understand, boom, this is what's going on in the deck. If you've got 5 of all the cards, 3 to 8, for example, that's a lot easier than saying, okay, there's 3 of the 5s, there's 4 of the 6s, there's 8 of the 7s, and there's 3 of the 8s. I mean, sure, that might be a more balanced bell curve, but at what cost? At what cost? Alternatively, you might say, okay, there's 1, 1, 2, 2s, 3, 3s, 4, 4, and so forth. That's okay. Again, that's simple. At least you understand what's going on. Or you might say, okay, everyone's got the same hand of cards. You've got these cards, and all your opponents have got the same cards, and you can ponder them. Think about ways to make the rules accessible so you can really internalize them, so that you can really think about then how to make that work with the game, so that hopefully in a multiplayer game other people can offer the surprise. That's what I would recommend. Timmy, whoops, I hope you enjoy your tea, and let's go to the question of the day. Question of the day, here's a little question before we go on our way. My question of the day is, when was the last time you had a plum? I haven't had a plum in years, I don't think. I mean, yeah, when was the last time you ate something purple? Oh my gosh, I mean, I'm trying to think if it was like maybe some sort of fizzy juice or some squash. I've not had anything like that. Oh, you know what? A beetroot. The last purple thing I had was beetroots, and in fact, I had some beetroot juice just a couple of days ago. Put it in the freezer for a few hours just to get it really nice and chilled, and then drinking it. And then I do quite like how it turns everything red. But yeah, when was the last time you had... So Timmy says, I don't know if I've ever had a plum. When was the last time you've had something purple? So like, that might be fizzy pop, or it might be some sort of chocolate bar in a purple wrapper, or it might be beetroots. Have you had any of those things? But regardless, over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. What are you up to after this? I am going to get back with my friends Alan and Charlie Paul, and we will be talking about games, we will be playing games, probably having a quick walk, and I'm looking forward to wandering around a bit. It's a beautiful day, and I can literally see the butterflies. Well, one butterfly going... No, there's multiple butterflies, at least 2, going from flower to flower. It's a lovely place to be, and I'm feeling really privileged, and I'm feeling really excited to be playing all these games, and with wonderful people. So, yes, what are you up to? Of course, what's going on there? I think that might be the farm machines working. Of course, to recap and wrap up before we finish up, as I've been saying, please remember to have some sort of transference of information. You want to be able to give people a clear expectation. If you're making a game, think about your marketing, think about your art, make sure that everything gives you a clear indication of what's going on, and then make sure that you've got time for surprises in there as well. If you want to check me out, I am Stuff by Bed in all the places, but more importantly, stuffbybed.com/streams. Tomorrow I am having a full-length episode with Alan Paul. We will be talking about advantage tokens in games, which is interesting. That's not something that I've pondered very much before, but presumably after pondering it for an hour, we'll have a bit more of an idea of what it is. Of course, you can check me out in all the other places as well. Thursday and Friday will be another relatively quick stream, and then Saturday and Sunday will be my birthday streams, because it is my birthday on the 13th of August. And yeah, I can't remember what I'm up to, but those will be full-length streams as well. Share, spread the word, and thank you very much for being here. Even though it's been a short episode, it's been nice chatting, and thank you. It's been lovely having an audience with whom to talk, and yeah, I am curious about what the last purple thing you ever ate was, so do let me know if you've not had a plum. Have you ever had chocolates? I mean, I know dairy milk comes in a purple wrapper. I guess Vimto or Ribena or beetroots. Had any of them? But for now, yeah, nothing left to say except for lots of love. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful sleep. Be kind to yourself. And make sure that whether you want expectations, you ask for it. And when you want surprises, let people know to not tell you everything. Think about what you want, and hopefully, you'll be able to get a wee bit of that. Think about your audience, and hopefully, you'll be able to make games and art better for your audience. For now, lots of love, and as always, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Do, 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 bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone. Have a lovely day.